Yo.
Yo.
Welcome back to the Mark Our Words podcast, the official podcast of YouTube. What's good with you, Moses?
Hey, man. Big Buff. How you living?
Okay, thank you. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
That's good, man.
How's everything with you? Life is still beautiful?
Life is always beautiful, man.
What is beautiful about life this week for you?
Man. A lot of things, man. We finished a great interview last week.
Yes.
That was good.
Probably the week before, because we got two parts of that,
yeah.
and then we got the Tough Mudder review. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. But no, that was a good interview. A great person to interview as well too. We wish Elle a lot of success,
man.
And
I don't even know we have to wish it for.
Whole time
Seems
though.
like it's coming.
Let me say my wishes for people that need it. I wish for success for me. You know what I mean? No, she doing good, man. Shout out to Elle, man. That is a great
Elle and Yvette. We can't forget Yvette, man. Yvette's the
you already know I can't forget about Yvette. I can't forget about the bridge, but
we should do an interview with Yvette. I want to talk to Yvette.
For real?
Yeah. We just gotta do that.
We definitely go. I mean, I ain't gonna say definitely because I got asked. You know what I mean? I'm always saying definitely. But nah, man, I'm excited about it, man. And to be honest, I'm excited about the success for them. Number one, as women, you know, let them see your shirt, Chin.
Oh yeah.
Let them see your shirt.
You know the vibes.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for them about women.
About what? What type of women?
Black woman.
You know the vibe.
You guessed what number 2 was. I'm excited about the success, about them being where they are, and the fact that there are women doing it, and the fact that they are black doing it.
Yes.
Not colored, because I know how you gotta specify sometimes. Color can mean anything.
It can mean a lot of
but
things.
black is very straightforward. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that interview. If y'all didn't see that interview, I'll put a link so y'all can see it and things like that. I thought you was pointing.
Oh no! I was.
Okay. I was about to say. Okay. Okay. This is my keto weight. You know what I mean? So y'all will see what I am this week. Everything's still going good with keto, back on it and stuff like that. But I think I'm gonna start taking your approach. Sometimes you gotta speak, and this probably lead to our topic. You gotta speak positivity, and I'm not even trying to be like that vibe person. You know what I mean? Like, I actually was listening to somebody. I think I was watching Derek Rose Math Hoffa interview, and he said, yeah. Okay. This is the most. It was good mainly because it's the most. Because Derek Rose is a quiet guy, so he was talking, and he said something that made me laugh, and like it made me think of you. He said something told him that it's time for him to grow his locks, because like locks hold his energy and things like that. So I was like, was there ever a moment where you would grow your locks where you was like, I'm growing my energy and I'm conserving and holding on to my energy with my locks, and if I cut my locks, I cut off my energy?
I was never that spiritual with my locks, but there was some type of spiritual aspect that was kind of more based on reality. It was more so like my locks. It's been through a lot. Like it was in Miami a couple of times, so there's probably some sand in here from Miami. It's nasty.
Even still,
you gonna say nasty?
Even after you washed it,
you gonna say it's nasty?
we haven't been to Miami in like 3 years.
It's been because it's lint that gets stuck in here, so it's probably got lint from all over the place. So this, I feel like with my locks, there's history, and it takes a little bit from every place.
Oh, that's actually a good way to look at it. I'm actually watching this hair documentary on Oprah channel.
Oh yeah,
OWN, yes. I think it's called Hair Tales or something like that. And Oprah said her hair is strong, resilient, and purposeful. You know what I mean? And it kind of gives the importance of hair and what it means to women, and even for one woman was on there, she lost her hair, and
Jada.
It wasn't Jada, but it was the same condition that Jada had. Okay. But she had it much more severe. She said she grew her hair out her whole life, long hair and everything like that, and she lost all her hair in 5 weeks.
Oh wow.
So you can imagine the trauma,
That's sad.
the trauma and things like that. And she is one of our senators. I think she's a senator for. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I want to say New Hampshire. It's a black woman, and
Simone.
I don't remember her name.
I think like Simone Sanders. Actually, I don't think Simone Sanders is a senator.
But I'm definitely gonna put a name in the picture.
Cool.
And she said she went up and spoke on the Senate and things like that. She used to wear wigs, but she didn't feel like herself, and she feel like she brings more attention and more powerful by showing her bald head and things like that. And it just shows how powerful relationships are, because at the time, I think she still is, she was married and her husband was encouraging to her and telling her, you don't need hair to have a crown, and that kind of, in truth be told, I really didn't understand the importance of hair until I started growing my hair out. I don't think my hair is energy or things like that. But I just learned after like 2 years of like growing it, of how to take care of it. Mm-hmm. So I can understand the attachment to it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not thinking of my hair as like, this is Miami, this is Texas and stuff like that. But I'm thinking like, like, let's see how far it goes, because me personally, I love short hair on women, and I always had short hair. So I always treated hair like it's just hair, you know what I mean? But like you said, imagine somebody just come up to you and just disrespect you and cut off a lock for no reason. You just be like you don't even think of me as a person.
Yeah, you gotta go Draymond.
And the thing about this, if you actually, I don't know, you remember in the news years ago, you hear about these like random stories about like this kid who went to school and he's on the wrestling team and he had dreadlocks, and the ref, like white guy, made them cut it off, and his teammates in the team cut his hair. Now imagine you sending your kid to school and
he come back home.
And you couldn't make it that day because you had to go to work, and he come back home and his hair is gone. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, y'all check out that Hair Tales by Oprah. She did a great job on that. But yeah, man, like I'm really trying to, because it's very hard for me to speak positive things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not out here speaking negative things, but I'm not intentionally saying life is beautiful. I usually wait for something beautiful to happen to be like, life is beautiful. You get what I'm saying? I feel like you just come in and you're actually making a statement instead of making an observation. Dude, like, you get what I'm saying? I feel like you're just saying like, life is beautiful.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it really is beautiful.
I ever noticed that. I think it's a statement that I believe, regardless of the condition. It's like looking at your girl and her hair is all messed up, no makeup, kind of burping on the couch.
And you say you're beautiful?
It's like, damn, baby, you're beautiful. In that condition, she might not be at the peak, but you still love her to the point where,
I love her.
There was a conversation I had yesterday
of
a friend of ours, not of ours, but the person I was having a conversation with. And he's like, if I'm being honest, my girl is a 6 on the scale.
Of 10, hopefully.
Out of 10. 6 out of 10. But he's like, to me, like, if I'm being honest, that's what she is. But to me, she's the most beautiful girl in the world. Like, I love her with all my heart. She's everything that I want. Everything that she does is it makes me, flirt a little bit.
I don't think she would like being called a 6 though.
I don't think anybody would. But that's the honesty.
That's above average.
It is above average.
Ain't nobody still like to be called a 6?
You the one who said it. Why you asking me?
No.
You made the statement. Now you asking me the question.
I'm just saying, like, but you like agreed to the statement, and it's basically a rhetorical question. It's like, okay, like you above average, but a 6, like people want to be like 7+, like 8, 9. You know what I mean?
Well, I get it. I'm not stepping in this territory, my guy. I'm not stepping in that territory. But the overall point was that to him, his girl was beautiful, and I think
that's love.
I think that's the way I see life. It's like, yeah, there's some messed up things going on in life, but I'm just happy that I still have another day, and I try to make the best out of it.
Bless. So what are we gonna talk about today, family?
I guess we kind of already touched on it a little bit. Watch what you say, and how you say it. I think for me, this is something that's been very real, and I've been thinking a little bit more about it in the last week. There was a clip. I'm not gonna get into it just because there's a lot of controversy right now around it. But it was a clip where the guy was talking about another person who's just been going off the rails, and he was like, "Just, hey, bro, watch what you say," and had me think like, I need to start watching what I say. I think there's a lot of times I say a lot of things, especially on the podcast, where I'm not really thinking about it, but I'm doing them for the jokes. Just being honest. I guess this is where I should issue my apologies. All my gay friends out there, all my gay people out there, I apologize. This is sincere. I'm not joking. All my black women out there, if I made jokes about black women, there was one time I made a joke about lesbians being abusive. I apologize. This guy. I'm being sincere. I really am.
I know.
I'm not joking.
I like forgot about those conversations.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna come up one day, so I'm apologizing right now. No, I'm really serious. I know this sounds like we're joking, but it's something that anybody else I feel like those are the two major groups that I'm really sorry for. I don't think I say anything about Jewish people, but I see how y'all getting these other people out here. So if I have in the past, I also apologize. I love Jewish people though. So, but yeah, I think for something that I'm learning and something that you always say is like, when you gonna grow up? I think one of the things about growing up is watching what you say, and I think that's something that I need to start being more mindful of, especially if we start entering these conversations. It's like, what is your goal? Is your goal to be funny? And which is like what we call it, cheap entertainment, or is your goal to uplift, learn, and grow? Not just yourself, but other people who watch us. If that's your goal, then you need to watch what you say, regardless if you feel like it needs to be said or not.
And truth be told, even the jokes, there's nothing wrong with joking.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, to your point, there's certain jokes that I can say with you because there's a familiarity.
Yeah.
I'm not a foe.
Yeah.
I'm not an enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can say a joke and it will land correctly. But let's say if you was to talk about another person that you don't know, they haven't really know your intent behind your statement. So watching what you say, it's funny how you say, like, when you go grow up, I always have a conversation with my sister. She's 10 years older than me. And I say, yo, we're so immature, bro. And it's not even like immature in a bad way. It's like I just don't take things as seriously as I feel like an adult should, or even what I perceived at a young age of how like adults. Like, for example, my mother was, before she passed, my mother was close to my age and stuff like that, like 31, 32, mid 30s and stuff like that.
Really?
Yes, when late 30s, because she passed like at 41.
Okay.
So the time that you met her, she was in her late 30s.
Oh, wow.
You would have thought she was like, late 40s, something like, because she just had a seriousness about her. And my thing is, what's the benefit of watching what you say? And to me, one of the things of watching what you say is that you be taken seriously, right?
Exactly.
And it's very hard to take someone seriously when they goofy part-time. You get what I'm saying?
Or full-time.
basically you goofy full-time and serious part-time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a time to joke, but you can't be the guy, or like the person rather, that wants to be taken seriously, but you don't present yourself seriously.
Yeah.
You loose with the mouth, you loose with your opinions. I always tell my lady and people that know me, I say, like, everybody don't need to know what you're thinking.
Exactly.
And you get what I'm saying? Like, nobody really needs to know what you're thinking. No one asked. And it sounds rude, but really at the end of the day, no one asked for my opinion. So like, that's one thing I want to work on, of like keeping my words to a minimum, because I don't want to be the type to give advice not asking, because nobody's gonna take it seriously. You just gonna be talking, and it's just gonna sound like noise, and it's not gonna be taken with the same seriousness as, let's say, somebody come to you and you keep your words. With me, I always say short and concise and straight to the point. You know.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that point that you just made, like, your thoughts are your thoughts for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If your thoughts were supposed to be out loud, then we will all think out loud.
But we live in a society where thinking out loud is a thing. Tweeting is thinking out loud. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, making a post is thinking out loud. And the thing about
people use that as thinking out loud.
They use it as thinking out loud. But it's hard, because how can you decipher, like, if you really believe what you say? Because, like you said, Twitter is for jokes. That's how I view it. So if I was to post anything, I'm posting to get retweets and laughs.
Yeah.
I don't really stand behind what I say. That's why I don't tweet. You get what I'm saying?
That's, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you don't tweet. Yeah, just clarifying. Yeah, that. It's not like he's out here tweeting jokes left and right.
like that's why, like, I only like follow the people that I get a laugh from.
Yeah,
because I follow them for a long period of time. There's a rapport in the sense of, like, oh, they here for the jokes. Yeah. But if I was to come out and say the things that they say and things like that, it's not gonna end well for me.
Why is that?
Because I haven't tweeted so long, and everybody who follows me don't know me.
Okay.
So it gives the assumption, and it gives the proximity, that we're all close. That's the false proximity, that we all close. These are all my followers. These are all my friends. So in some way, subconsciously, it's like, oh, they like me. Or they, like, you know, they don't hate me because they follow me. Yeah. But, you know, there's a certain thing as hate following. I don't understand it, but it happens. So you say things, and you kind of become a jester for the app, for, like, your followers, for, like, your friends. And granted, we send tweets to each other that is just randomly funny. One of the funniest tweets you sent me yesterday was somebody tweeted, imagine your dog is missing or something like that, and someone calls you and barking. But that's funny to me. You get what I'm saying? That is funny. So that's why I'm like, I can't operate in that venue in that way, because I haven't proven myself to be the funny guy on Twitter compared to other people who have proven themselves and showed themselves they're here for the jokes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's also weird because the other side to it, right, is like, are people getting to see the real you? But I think you could go too far on one side, where give me 1 second.
You're right.
You go too far on one side, where people are, you know, where you're the jester, but you're not really showing your real self. You're just being a jester, so you're just saying whatever is funny. But is it possible to watch what you say so much that people don't really get to know the real you, because you're so reserved and so quiet, and so only the people close to you really know who you are? But then again, is that a bad thing? Should people know the real you if they're not in your close circle?
Yeah, I feel like on the internet it's weird, because I feel like back in the day when Twitter first started, when Instagram first started, that was you had no choice but to show the real you in, like, some fashion, because social media was so new. The game hadn't really been introduced and altered to the way to where you're like, oh, I can be a personality. It's like new.
Yeah.
But now you go on Instagram, everybody's selling something. Everybody's not even really, in my opinion, everybody is a professional photographer. They are a professional videographer. You get what I'm saying? Like, and they know what to do to get likes, and they know what to do to get views, and they know what to do, the thumbnail to get the, you know what I mean? And people like me who just post what's going on in my life or a clip that's going on, I just post it and I get no views. Now, the thing about it is, when you get no views and you're surrounded by people who give views and likes and things like that, it kind of forces you to go with the crowd, because you're off to yourself. So that's when you start putting little things that you didn't think of. That's when all of a sudden when you make a plate of food and you post it on Instagram, you put spaghetti, hashtag spaghetti, hashtag foodie, hashtag things like that, so you can try to bring traffic to your picture. So I think social media plays a big part in us not watching what we say, especially since free press has been attacked during the time where Donald Trump was president and things like that, to where basically the back in the day, you could just depend on journalists to give the news, and you can be like, okay, this is the facts of the situation.
Yeah.
But because Twitter is basically a newspaper for people, you really don't know who's credible anymore.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's like, oh, I don't know what's real, I don't know what's not real, and social media basically played a huge part in us, like, not us watching what we say, especially since people started getting in trouble on social media. It's like, oh, at first it was just an app, but now people are I actually know somebody recently, about 3 weeks ago, they had a job interview and the person called them back and said, hey, I tried looking up your social media and I can't find it. So jobs, depending on what job it is, not like a lot of jobs, but jobs for sure are typing in your name to see what type of person you are. But what if the person I am on Twitter is a character? What if I'm goofy? You get what I'm saying? What if I'm playing a character just to get tweets and things like that? And it's like, it goes back to your point of, like, you really have to watch what you say, watch what you tweet, watch what you post, because unfortunately it is a representation of
who you are.
Of who you are.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other part, right? I think there was a part of me growing up thinking that because we all grew up, or we all growing up with the internet, that a lot of things would be, I guess, normalized. So, like, I remember when I was in college, they said, don't post yourself with a red cup. Because if you post yourself with a red cup and you start going to job interviews later on, they're going to think you're this type of person. But I'm like, well, if everybody posts themselves with a red cup, because most people are drinking in college, everybody posts themselves with a red cup.
What is the risk?
Yeah, it's normalized. It's a normal thing to have a red cup in college. Like, that's the thing to do. I didn't know that people would actually judge you as much as they're judging people now for the things that they say. And it could be a retweet, it could be a like, it could be a repost, and these things are attributed to things that you believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I think that's bad. Let me tell you why it's bad.
Okay.
Social media has taken away the hard work and the patience, and not patience, but it's taking away the hard work and the actual time to actually get to know somebody. And I can just look at something, look at a post, look at a picture, a red cup, and make it an assumption.
No, this guy's an alcoholic.
Or just like he likes to party. Exactly. So it took away the actual, hey, who is Moses? Who is this guy? What does he like? What is he like? You get what I'm saying? I can just easily type something in and see what he tweets. Now on Twitter, they have something where you can like something and people can go through your likes. So people could be like, oh, he likes this type of stuff. Oh, he likes these type of jokes. Oh, he likes these type of women. And like I said, it takes away the idea of, and truth be told, we are very complex people.
Yeah.
Who I am around you is completely different than who I am around my lady.
Exactly.
And to use social media as a way to judge people is to basically put people as you are the same way in person as you are on Twitter, as you are on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn. Like, if you look on people's LinkedIn is completely different than people are how on Twitter. And I think it goes back to your point of watch what you say. But we're talking to each other on the internet now.
Yeah.
Dude.
In public forums.
Exactly. So it's like, who's speaking? Are we speaking as in the person that, like, you get to know? Or is my username the Black Buffalo is speaking? You get what I'm saying? It's weird.
Following him on all platforms right now.
You don't have to, though. Follow Mark our words.
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's a very interesting question. And it's like, depending on who's who you replying to or what area you in. You speaking and let's say there's jokes, and sometimes I remember there was this. I forgot what the joke was, but there was this one joke, and it was funny. Like people were making jokes, and then somebody posted the real situation about or the backstory behind the joke, and it ended up not being as funny as what the description was. And let's say you reposted that with your own joke, but then that story comes out, and now you're labeled one of the people that was insensitive. And so it's like those. If you knew the backstory, that would probably derive a different emotion, different response to that post, right? But because you didn't know that backstory, another side of you, the funnier part, the goofier part, came out. And I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or a good thing. One, because one thing I would say about the Me Too movement, even though some people probably got accused of sexual assault or sexual harassment unfairly, I think it was necessary for a lot of other guys to be like, oh, I need to watch how I move in the workplace or with other women that I'm not really familiar with, because this guy got accused and that guy got accused. I don't want no problem. Those were gray areas. I'm not going to even be in a gray area. I'm going to be right here. I think that was necessary to teach a lot of people. So I think a lot of these situations are probably necessary to teach a lot of people now. Hey, calm down. Not every opinion needs to be said. Not every joke needs to be written. Sometimes you could tell a joke with one of your friends or so and so. And if you do tell a joke, make sure, and we talked about this, make sure you stand by it. If you're apologizing for a joke, that's probably a joke you shouldn't have written. And it's like, that's something that I need to, I'm starting to learn more and more about. It's like, if I'm just saying these jokes on the podcast, will I have to apologize for it? A lot of times, if it was bad enough, and because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not attached to any of the jokes I say on this podcast. I just be doing it because it'd be funny in my head. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just say
it do be funny sometimes.
It'd be funny.
But hold on, but is this epiphany that you having, is it because you want to be viewed a certain way?
That's part of it. I think it started with that conversation with myself. So, long story short, why I'm having all these conversations with myself, I'm not going.
I'm about to say, because you beat therapy, so you shouldn't be having a conversation with yourself.
So I beat therapy, but you still need a therapist. But how you gonna how you gonna get a therapist if you beat therapy? You gotta be your own therapist. So I've been journaling a lot.
Nice.
So a lot of these conversations are coming from just me journaling and writing down my thoughts. And one thing I realized, I don't think I get the respect of a 30-year-old as I think I should. And I think it's because I'm either goofy or I'm not concise with my words, or I don't, and we talked about this, advocate for myself.
Now watch
so
this.
I don't speak up when I need to.
Now watch this, because I thought the same thing, not about you, but just about me. When you say get the respect, is it from the people that know you, or like the people that are associates?
Both.
Okay. With me, I had to change how I view that in certain ways, in the sense of, like, my sister's my sister.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if she viewed me as goofy, then like I'm goofy. You get what I'm saying? Because that's my big sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to that, if my big sister viewed me the same way as my coworker, that's a problem, because there's a certain closeness I have with my sister that I would never have with a coworker.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we both, based on what you just shared, listen, things are funny to me. I learned not to take things seriously, and it brings me peace. But sometimes my personality bleeds out, and it bleeds out in areas and even in certain arenas that it shouldn't bleed out.
Exactly. That's the key.
Okay.
Like, there's a place to be funny and goofy. But while I was finding myself doing a lot, and we talked about it, I was goofy about me even being like this, was I was being goofy in inappropriate areas.
Okay.
And I think that shows a lot of people subconsciously, I can't trust this guy when it's serious. Now, if I want to lighten the mood, maybe I go to this guy because I'm like in a rough place. And yeah, a lot of people come to me when it's like, I just don't want to deal with this right now. But when it comes to like, I need somebody serious, this guy is not.
Yeah.
It's not the guy. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen in my own relationship. I wasn't sure if like, and I'm getting to the age where my sisters and my mom might need to depend on me, right?
You probably be a father within 10 years, maybe.
That too, and it's like, and that's something I actually want to talk about, fatherhood, but
Okay.
But that could be on a different podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna be a father in a couple of years. Now I don't want, and the scary thing is I don't want to lose that goofiness because I don't want to be that guy that never laughs. Like, he always stoic. Nothing's funny. He doesn't want to play with his kids. He doesn't want to go out. He's always a killjoy. Every time that people go out, like, the guy just sits down.
It's like the kids and the mom laughing. You come home and then you just ruin the mood. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yo, can y'all be quiet? Yo, it's a party. Like, so that's the other part. It's like I don't want to be too much on the other side, but I think I need to start it's not that I don't know. I just need to enforce that when the time calls for seriousness, I need to be serious. When the time calls for goofiness, cool. You could let loose.
And the truth of the matter is, I think your fear is valid, but you will see in time once you put into practice. Like, if you're a funny guy and if you're goofy, have such a bad connotation because it makes it seem like you're just being exactly. Yeah. But if you are if you have that type of personality that's fun going and things like that, you don't lose that. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Even if you was to add a little seriousness to it and things like that, people would not view you as like, oh, he's now a killjoy. Yeah. It would just be added to like, oh, okay, when it is something serious, when it does come, it start and like I said, you have a different we are on two different spectrums because you're the big brother of three, and I'm the little brother of three. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So there's a certain, now granted, age helps with that with my older brother and my older sister, but if there is something serious that needs to be said, there is a certain maturity that my sister, even though like we goofy and we play around, if she wants to get serious, I know she has that in her. Yeah. To get serious with me, and she has the right because we 10 years apart. Yeah. Now, granted, we all grown, so there's not a lot of things that she will get serious with me about. You know what I mean? Like, you're a grown man, you need to go to work and do your thing. But I think to your point, especially when you was talking about we should talk about little sis, and she gave us the 90-day thing. That's a side of little sis that I didn't know about.
Oh, word. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's fair. Because I always said these are moments because she was a little slow sometimes. You know what I mean? So I used to say she having a moment. You get what I'm saying? That's hilarious. But now you have to respect, especially since she's in the position that she's in now, even though she's little sis. She's in a position to where when it comes to that, oh, she's serious. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Oh, when you have your little moments and things like that, when we all in the house and we all acting like this family, oh, we still view you as little sis. Yeah. Goofy sometimes. But when I call you in the middle of the day and you at work and I ask for advice or like you give me some advice, like I respect your intellect because you have shown seriousness and it doesn't take away parts of you. Yeah. You're just adding parts of you. That's all it is.
I also think, to touch on that a little bit, when you start to, I guess, put more respect on your own words. Yeah. You also respect other people's words. Word. Because if it's hard for you to get in a space of seriousness, if you want to be serious and you're like, yo, let's go. I'm like, okay, I know you serious. Versus like, yo, let's go. It's like, yo, it's just playing. Yo. Hey, yo, let's go. Yo, why you acting like this? Like, relax. Like, yo, I'm not playing. Let's go. And it's like, now you have to turn up to that type of moment and for me to understand, like, oh, okay, he's being serious right now. I think when you start to navigate in that serious mode a little bit more, you start to respect other people. And it's not because of seniority. It's because you could identify with somebody like, okay, this is a serious moment there. Like, what's good?
Exactly.
And so I think that's going back to, my little sis. Yeah, my little sis has that play side, but I know she has, because she's the only one in our family that could probably be a killer in business. Maybe the middle child. The middle child.
I think the middle child might surprise you. Yeah, like she probably will pop up one day. You're just like, whoa.
Like the youngest, she's very to the point, get things done. I'm gonna get it done. The middle child, she's like, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey,
she might fall into it, yeah,
and then take everything, So, but yeah, I think and because of wanting to be more serious, I think that also allows me to respect other people's seriousness as well.
And then on top of that, I'll just go put a button on there unless you got some more things to say.
Good.
Social media, they have a button on Twitter that definitely retweet. Because social media is so common, and I'm sure you've been to those type of kickbacks to where you come in and everybody's on their phone. You get what I'm saying? No one's talking to each other. It took away that need to go talk to somebody. Not only do you have to watch what you say, you have to watch what you endorse as well, and stuff like that. Because just a retweet can mess you up. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It gives the illusion that I agree, and you can't play that. You can't play that trick of just because I retweeted doesn't mean that I agree with it. It's like, nah, man. It's to your point.
That's what it means now.
Exactly. Like we're 30 years old and we're not new to social media.
Yeah.
And social media is evolving to bigger things. So to put my final words on it, unless you got some other final words, the older you get, especially if you're watching this and you're in your mid-20s going into your 30s and things like that, make sure your words have value. You get what I'm saying? Make sure your words hold value and your opinions hold value, that you really express what you feel. And there's a time and place for everything and things like that.
And not everything needs to be spoken on.
Yeah. Some thoughts are meant to just be thoughts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Anything else you want to share, brother?
Nah. That was about it,
man. We hit y'all with a quick fast one. We gonna hit y'all with a couple fast ones. Next week will be a fast one too, because we got holidays is coming up and we are busy. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna leave y'all dry out here. I'm gonna keep uploading the clips. I might even post a blog or something like that, an audio blog. I'm working on that. But y'all keep subscribing, keep liking, keep watching the content, and y'all be good. Blessings.